point, just as an FYI, we do have a chat box where you can chat up the panelists and the presenters and the hosts, me and my colleagues and Annabelle. But I highly encourage you to use the Q&A box for your questions. And if you have any questions, please type them away, and we will try to answer them as Annabelle is presenting. And at the end of the presentation, Annabelle will stay a little bit longer with us and answer the questions in the Q&A box for you as well. So, so please fire away with your questions if you have any. You can also question us at any time now or send us emails. We're here to help you. And yeah, that's what I want to say. Oh, and by the way, we get a lot of questions about, will you share the recording? Will you share the slide decks and the Twibix or the Tableau workbooks that have been created or presented here? The answer to that question is yes, we will record, or we are recording everything, and we will share everything with you if those who can, if the presenters are able to share content with us. So for instance, Lloyd's will not share their slides due to restrictions, but you can watch the recording. Rachel and Stefan, who presented about Data Everywhere, Tableau for Everyone, they will share their slide deck, but they cannot share all the workbooks, but they will share some of them. So please stay tuned for a follow-up email that it will send out through Splash. And with that email, we will also have a quick survey, and would be great if all of you who have participated today could fill out that survey, which gives us indication on how that event was for you, how it felt, and what we could do better. And even if you have, like, for instance, the urgency to present something as well, you can reach out to us or just leave your contact data with us, and we will reach out to you and see if we can get together for such for the next opportunity, let's say. So we got still 5 more minutes left for Annabelle, but maybe I mean, you said you will need a little bit more than 45 minutes.
Yeah, I can start, huh?
Yeah, why not? I would say, yeah, let's start. I don't see much more people coming in or getting out, so I think it's a good time to start now. I will stop sharing and hand you over the ball.
Yeah, I still don't have the share content button accessible.
It's coming now to you.
Oh, I'm too impatient, you see.
All right, so Annabelle, the stage is yours. Oh, wait.
No, I cannot.
I gave the ball to someone. I give the ball to Itzy. Oops.
Oh, fine. Don't worry.
Now you have the ball.
So, okay, I need to share my screen.
Perfect, it's coming up.
Exactly. So, thank you for joining my session today. So depending of your time zone, I wish you a good morning, good afternoon, or a good evening. Today I will show you that there is value everywhere, and even a single Excel file is worth converting into a dashboard, even if it's boring procurement data. So grab a cup of coffee if you need it, and let's get started. So some words about me. My name is Annabelle Rincon, and I'm leading the Tableau Center of Excellence, or better say, enablement at Fontobel. And I'm also in charge of Data Plus Women in Zurich with my good friend Olivia Slitz. By the way, we will have like an event soon, so I will copy paste the event registration on the chat later. So what is Data Plus Women? For the one that doesn't know, it's a networking group for women working with or around the data. All our panelists are female, but we accept men at the audience. So please register. My two passions in life, apart from the chocolate, obviously, that's why I'm living in Switzerland, are Tableau and my dog Asterix. And as I'm working from home today, as I imagine a lot of you, you may hear him from time to time, so let's consider him as my speaker today. So what is the objective? The objective for today is to build a visualization for a procurement officer in less than 40 minutes. Why 40 minutes? Because Asterix would like to have a walk and he knows how to be very persuasive. So let's try to be quick, otherwise Sia will kill me too. So we will have a look at the requirement. And then we will build the visualization, and the first part, we will improve the design by some quick wins. So when you build for all people, you need to understand two things. First, the data, and then the requirement. So about the data, it's very important that you understand the level of detail, which kind of information I have inside, because it will be very beneficial for you then after to do the correct calculation. So that's the Excel file that we will work today. It's about all about spending, purchase order idea, vendor name, date. It has more than 50 columns. And what is very important is that you understand what my procurement officer is doing with that. So every month, my procurement officer is compulsing the numbers, building some slide and analysis, and then time take some action. But what you would like to have, it's a clear view of what is going on, and have time to do what really matters, analyze it, and save money for the company. So let's collect the requirements. To collect effectively the requirement, you should not ask your stakeholder what should be the final product. No, you should understand really what is his problematic. Put yourself in his shoes. You should ask him what he needs, what he wants to achieve with the data. And when he will give you some of this answer that you can see here, you can work with him, go back and forth. It's fine. It's an iterative process, and really define what is important for him. So when he said, for instance, I want to show the split of spending by subsidiary and by department, I want to be able to see who are the top vendor and how much they represent. I want to be able to compare the spending to the one from last year at the same period. I tell you the top 5, or maybe it was 15, I don't remember. I don't know yet. And I want to see, of course, a list of all the purchase orders at all time. If I translate this requirement, it means that, okay, my dashboard has to display the year-to-date spending. I will need to calculate this and compare it easily with the year-to-date spending from last year. I will also create the view showing the split between spending by subsidiary and by department, and I will use it as a filter because it tells me that at one moment you want to be able to filter by subsidiary or department. I will create a view displaying as a top vendor, and because it doesn't know yet and it probably changed his mind, I will add a parameter that it can switch. If it's top 10, top 20, he will write whatever he wants. And I will calculate how much the top that he chooses represent, and a Pareto graph to display the distribution of the spending. And I don't forget the last one. So let's start with the demo. I switch workbook. So now you see I am connecting to my purchase data with all the dimension or all the measure. That was the Excel that we had before. And I will start building the view. So if you remember, he wants the year-to-date spending. So let's first calculate it. So to calculate a new calculated field in Tableau, either you click here on the little arrow, or you can also right-click, create calculated field. A good way, it's always to give a name to all your calculation and all your worksheet, by the way. So here, let's go, year-to-date spending. How we calculate that? A year-to-date spending is all the spending which are being created the same year of the year of today. So let's write that. So if the year of the date that the spending happened, it's equal of the year of today, then we will take the purchase amount in USD. That's the one that I have to take. And You see now a new measure is appearing here. When I will drag and drop into a column, Tableau will aggregate it into a sum. Tableau is all about aggregation. You will see that. So here I can remove, right click and remove my header, and I can simply display the mark level. So you see it's very detailed. It's like in million, it's 29 million. First, we have spent 29 million at this moment. But I don't need all this detail. So one way to do it is like, of course, I can right click here and format, but it will be only working the formatting for this view. And what I want is like do the formatting for the full workbook. So I can go to default property, number format, and change here, say I want only 1 decimal, and let's say that I want it in 1000. Okay, so now you see the format is updated. I want also to be able to calculate the year-to-date spending from last year. So again, what I will do is like, I can just duplicate, edit, and then again, I don't let copy on the name, I give a naming. So year-to-date spending, like this, it's enough for me. By the way, I don't know if you know, but you can comment all your calculation by putting all this symbol and give a definition. It's good when you have to pass by your dashboard to someone else. So what's the year-to-date spending from last year? So obviously we want to write that, and that will be already good, but it will be the full year of last year if I write that. So I had to add an additional calculation and say that I want also that the spending happen before today, 1 year ago. So to do that, I just write that the date of the spending has to be inferior or equal of, so here I use a function in Tableau that's called a date add, and I will write year -1, sorry, of today. So here I'm saying that I want that also the spending happen 1 year before 1 year, yeah, I will say it, before today, 1 year ago, sorry. So if I drag and drop here to that spending into the view, so you see here the format, it's maintained because I right click into duplicate. So you remember, I will remember that I want it in 1000. So now I can click in show me, and I can have at least these two information because I'm pretty sure that he will need it. He didn't tell me exactly that he wanted, but I mean, it's pretty obvious that he wants to know the sum of what have been spent. So here I can right-click format. I can remove the row divider. I can, of course, put this little data a little bigger to see it better. And I can have them, I don't know, yeah, center. Okay, so I have already my KPI. Up. So if we come back to the requirements, if one is interesting to see the split by spending by subsidiary. So let's do that. We create a new worksheet. Again, name your worksheet. It will be useful when you will do like the dashboard creation, and give a title that is understandable by your stakeholders. So here, spending by subsidiaries. Okay, so again, I drag and drop year-to-date spending into column. I search here on the search bar for subsidiaries. Okay, and I have all my subsidiaries. I know that this one seems to be the one where I spent more. What I can do, of course, it shows a mark level, sort it. So I can sort here directly on the axis or here on this little icon. I can remove the header, it's not needed. What you have to do also is try to have your design as clear as possible in order to reduce the ink ratio. The header was not needed anymore because I have the value display here. Okay, I can align here if I would like, so that's fine. Now I see the year-to-date spending, but my stakeholder insists that it wants to be able to compare at all time everything that happened last year ago. So I want to also drive year-to-date spending from last year into the view. One way to do that, it's like to do a bullet chart. So I will drag and drop this value into detail. I will go to analytic pane, reference line, select cell because I want it to display for every of the row that you see. I will select year-to-date -1, that's the one that I want. And I can format a little the design to have like a nice view. So we see already that some of the subsidiaries spend much more money than last year. Some of them haven't reached last year at the same time. So to give like a nice touch and to increase the visual here, I will calculate a new calculated field and just see the sign of the spending. I will test if my spending from this year are higher or equal of the spending, of last year. So here, if you see, now this calculation is created. Here is the true-false calculation. So if I drag and drop, it will tell me, yes, here for Pacific, we have spent more than last year at the same period. This one, no. I can edit the color. So I will give a nice touch. I will put in red to alert that here we have spent more. We should be aware. And this one we have spent less. I will put it in gray. Why I do that? Because that is less important. That I really want to alert. I advise you never to use like the traffic light color. Why? Because 8% of the male population cannot distinguish. And between when you have red and green on the same chart, obviously you see everything and everything shine, and you just want to shine the part that is important for you. So now that I have my view, one additional tip that I can give you, you should work the tooltip. You should give a nice look and feel at your tooltip. So when your stakeholder hover, you know what he's looking at. So we have done subsidiaries. We want also to do it by department. So I can right click, duplicate. So all my formatting will be maintained. Again, I give a name to the worksheet. I give the correct name to the title. And I just have to double click here and change my, sorry, I was too excited. Department full name, I just have to change my field. So here I have now by department, I know that the marketing is spending the most and much more than last year. And I have two departments that haven't spent anything this year, most probably because they were like reorganization. So I can just filter the view. So now I have my spending by department. Again, the tooltip is worked out. Let's put them already on the spending dashboard. So I can drag and drop my KPI. I can click to have the title. I can right click on the title and hide it. I don't need it. And I can put like a vertical container on the right where I will put subsidiary and department. I like to put them on the right because I will use them as a filter. And the most important information on the dashboard is already always on the top left corner. And I put it like this because, yes, like I said, instead of having a drop-down menu with the filter by subsidiary and department, creating the view already gave a content of what is going on, and you can use them after to filter the view. We'll do it. So, fine. If we come back, we already have done that. So now we still have to calculate the top vendor. Again, to gain some second, I will just duplicate and write top here and have my top vendor. Okay. So again, I just have to double click here and write my vendor names, and I will have all my vendor. Wait a minute. What is happening here? I have a new field, something that is in blue. Why? When you hover, you see that this vendor doesn't have spending for last year. That's why the calculation that I have done return a null. It's not a mistake, it's just because it's a total new vendor. So here I will change the color because I want to still to alert my procurement officer that this vendor is new and it comes very strong because it's already on the top 3. I can choose this color. It's enough to alert, to distinguish from the other gray, and that's it. So it's all the vendor sorted. It's not my top. So to do the top, we will do 2 calculated fields. So we will write my ranking. I will use a calculation in Tableau that's called rank unique. I will just drop and drop the sum of spending because I want my rank based on the sum of the spending from this year. And I will select descending. If I would like to have the bottom, I should have put ascending. So now I have my ranking here. Okay. And when I drag and drop here, you see that I have all its rank. That's what I want. Now I want to control this rank to have only the top. So I will calculate something that will check if my ranking is inferior or equal to the value that I will enter. So if I put 5, you see it's a true-false calculation. So if I put it on filter, I will say, yeah, I want it true. I want that it's on the top 5. You see that I have displayed the 5, but my user cannot enter a value because he wants maybe the top 10. So to do that, we will again right-click here, create a parameter this time. Top n to display. We can give like a sentence that will be seen by your stakeholder. It's an integer. Let's say that you can enter a range between, I don't know, 5 and 15. Okay. So now I can right-click, show parameter control. So obviously, if I click now here, nothing happened because I haven't linked my calculation to this parameter. So I just have to go here, go to edit, and tell him that I want my parameter here. So you see the parameter always appear in purple when the field appear in orange. So now when I will hit OK, you see now it's top 8, 11, and so on and so forth. So one good trick that I always do is like put the parameter into the title. Okay, so now my title will be also dynamic. When I will change, my title will change. I can right-click, format a little. I don't want these row dividers. Okay, so now I have my top that I can just drag and drop into the view here. I can right-click, put it interior view. This one I wanted to have display as near as possible, so I can put it floating and have it here. Okay, we'll try to change the format later. So, okay, now he wants also 2 additional things. He wants to be able to see how much the total spending of the top end represents. Meaning that when he's here, he would like to see, if I select them, that this top 7 represent 9 million. So let's do it. So let's drag and drop again year-to-date spending into column. And what we will do now, we will create what is called in Tableau a set. So we'll right-click, create set. And a set, it's a group of elements from your data that match a certain condition. So we can ask Tableau if this vendor belongs or not to the top n. And you see if you have like top here, already the condition almost prepared. And instead of putting top 10 of the sum of year-to-date spending, I will change and use my parameter. So this set will be also dynamic. So now you see we had a dimension pane, measure pane, parameter pane. Now we have a new one that's set. And this set can be used everywhere on the mark side. I will put it in color. So now, okay, I will have that my top, it's the one that is in because it belongs to the top set. my top, whatever it was, N, represent 9 million of the spending of this year, and the rest, 20 million. So that I can a little improve the design, remove the header, make it bigger, change and use my favorite color. So my favorite color is this one. And having this one very light because I don't want to attract much more attention. So this value, I can use it on the tooltip, and instead of having the value display here, I can change and add the percentage of total. So I can click on click table calculation percentage of total and click here, show mark level to have it. Of course, I can format it to have it better. But what I will do, up again, give a title that has to make sense. Top, here I use my parameter, represents of the spending. I can put like a correct sentence. And here I can even select the same color than the one that is encoded on the bar chart, that your eyes already link them together. So I know that my top 10 represent 32%. Again, this tooltip should be work. We will not do it to gain some seconds, but yes, you should use still the final version. I will show you how I did it. So now it's fine. I have my top 10. And what I still have to do, my Pareto chart. So what is a Pareto chart? Let's try to see if I can. Yeah, a Pareto chart will be a chart that will display here the year-to-date spending in running total, here the co-distinct of the vendor, and we will have something like that. So we will be able to say at every time, like 80% of the spendings are being done by, I don't know, 8% of the total vendors. So that's the one that we will do. Exactly. So how we do that? So we need the vendor name and put it into column. Yes, I want all the member, there is a lot. My year-to-date spending. And again, I can sort it directly by the y-axis. And so we are close by, but not it's only a value. So this one is 3 million. This true is like 7 million. And what I want is like the running total. So I have to tell Tableau that I want additional calculation. So first, the running total. So you see, up, it's starting. And then I can also add an additional one. So I would have the running total and percentage of total. So I will add a secondary calculation and I will say percentage of total here. But now here we have by vendor. What I want is a co-distinct of my vendor. So first I will drag and drop this vendor name into detail. I will here select measure, co-distinct. Don't worry, the view is not destroyed. I still have to tell him that I want the running total. And I want edit table calculation. The percentage of total. And I don't know what is happening. I will figure out. Yeah, total. Yes. Sorry, one calculation was not displaying correctly. So here you see it's not yet the nice view that I draw it to you before, because when I drag and drop the vendor into detail, the sorting was removed. So I just have to sort again and tell him that I need the vendor name, sorting descending, by the year-to-date calculation. And so let's review. Running total, co-distinct. Sorry for that. Okay, here really, I don't know what is going on. It's the first time that's happened to me, and it has to happen live, right? Okay, so I will stop here. I will show you how to do the action, and I will show you the correct calculation on the other one, because I really don't want to spend too much time here. Yes, I found out. It was because I make a mistake and I take the year-to-date spending from last year. Okay, voila. Sorry for that. So, so now it's my Pareto. Again, I should give like a correct name, distribution of spendings. It doesn't matter how much you prepare on a live demo, you will always have issues. So now when I overhit, I can remove the vendor name, it's not useful anymore. So you will see that here 77% of my spending is done by 5% of my vendor. Obviously, this tooltip has to be worked out, because you cannot let this kind of tooltip go into your stakeholder. Two additional display that I would like to have is like, I would like to have a nice line drawing here where the user can interact, and just typing 70% or 80%, and it will display how much this represents in terms of percentage of the vendor. So to do that, again, I create a quick parameter, year-to-date spending percent, to display. I can let it float, I can hit a percentage, 0.8, let's say. Okay, so here I can put it into detail. I go to analytic pane again, but this time I select all the table and I want to go to this axis. So I say sum is fine. I just want to have the value. What is happening? Yeah, not sum. Sorry. Today I have all the problem in the world. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. I think that today is not my day. Okay, sorry for that. When I got too excited, yeah. So I select the parameter. Up. I select the parameter, and now what I would like to calculate is this cross line here. So how we do that, it's quite cumbersome calculation, but it's really worth it. So I will calculate this value, the running total of the year-to-date divided by the total. And when we will reach this and each time I will calculate the corresponding discount, running total of discount of vendor name, but until we reach this parameter. And when we will reach this parameter, the value will be null. Let's create the cross-line calculation very quickly. So the cross-line calculation, I check if my running total, running sum of the year-to-date spending, not make the same mistake twice, divided by the total of the sum of the year-to-date spending is inferior of my parameter, year-to-date spending parameter that I just created. Then I continue to calculate. I continue to calculate the running sum of the condistinct of my vendor name. I divide by the total of the condistinct of my vendor name. Okay. Else I put null. So as soon as I reach this point, it's null. And the idea is like this cross line, I drag and drop into detail. I tell him that I want a calculation computing by vendor name. Okay, and when I will drag and drop this calculation onto the x-axis this time, I tell him that I want the maximum, the one that is the maximum to this line. So of course I can change a little the design and we'll have that. Here I will display the value, I will have it much more beautiful. I just rush a little because Sia will kill me. So now we will put this Pareto chart here. I can even add an evolution that I prepared before. Okay, delete the container, hide the title. A good tip, it's always when you want to redesign a little is a plan to brief. It gives you space, and I mean, to be honest, it makes all the difference in a word. You see, by some click and tip, I already have like a better look. I can, of course, put this one interior view. I will show you the last dashboard at the end. So we have most done everything that our stakeholder wanted. It still wants to be able to click by filtering by subsidiary and by department. I was thinking that maybe you would like also to be able to filter by vendor, so you can know if I click on this one, in which department of subsidiaries that happen. Or we do that in Tableau, we use the dashboard action. So, filter. I will give a name of the filter, it's also good, filter the dashboard, let's say. And we will say which one I have to control. So I want to be able to click on department, I want to be able to click on subsidiary and on the top, and to control every other sheet except the Pareto. Okay, so when I will click OK, now the dashboard will be filtered, you see? And if I click like this, I know that this vendor, it's across different departments. My procurement officer can check if he needs to, he has different contracts, maybe he can optimize the contract and so on and so forth. Another point that he wants also to be able to access the detail to all times. So again, I can go to filter, go to detail. This time I will select the menu. And let's see that he wants to go to the detail, the Excel file that I showed you at the beginning, just from this view. And he will go to the Excel that I showed you. When I click OK, now you see a menu will appear. If I click here, it will filter the Excel only for the East Coast Oceania. And indeed, it's what happened. So what we still have to do here, obviously, work the tooltip. Give instructions. I will show you the final dashboard. Because if I don't give instruction to my stakeholder, he will not know which dashboard he has to hit. So here it's clear now. Click to filter, click to filter, click to filter access detail. So here he knows that if he click, he will filter the dashboard. If he click here, he will access the detail. So you see, we were very close by from the final version. So obviously that is the final version of the dashboard after 2 or 3 back and forth with the user. What we had is like after he also discovered that he would like to have like more information about the number of purchase order, how many purchase order. So I create this little dot to highlight, okay, this one has a lot of purchase order, more than this one. And you can see also the distribution adding a visit tooltip. So what I can recommend to you is like for the design tip, keep it functional and simple. Use the color meaningfully that have a value. Don't add color to add color, just to highlight something. And try to decrease the ink ratio. Give comprehensive title and instruction, it's very important. Format the number. Name your worksheet to be able after to be very quickly on the dashboard and animation or action. Work the tooltip. If we go back here, you will see that not my tooltip is work. Here it's clear. The top 15 represent this amount of money. My spending, you see, 24% of the vendor represent 98% of the year to date. It's very important. You can also like add an icon with some information display what the color represents, what this dashboard is about, who created, who to contact, and everything. You can go here. It's a very good blog from Mark Reed that used Toggle action. We don't have time to show, but it's very, very good. You should really have a look. As a conclusion, depending on the requirement, the final result can be completely different. If my stakeholder would have told me, for instance, I want to see the expenses by subsidiary and by country, I don't care about what happened last year, I would have probably built a dashboard like this. So proactive, active listening. So it's very important that you understand what your user wants to achieve. In conclusion, in 40 minutes, a little more, sorry, Sia, we have done a dashboard and reviewed some basic tips. We achieve a functional dashboard with a light and simple look and feel. With this kind of dashboard, your procurement officer will be able to save some hours a week and dedicate himself in what really matters, save money for the company, by having a clearer and automatic view of what is going on. I have done this kind of dashboard in the past in different companies, and I can assure you that the return on investment is very, very impressive. Several hours a week of saving and a lot of money saved by a better analysis. So there is value everywhere in your organization. Not every dashboard can be as beautiful as the V's of the day on the Tableau gallery, but they can be functional and impactful in the daily life. And that is the power of visual analytics. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you had fun with procurement data and stay healthy and safe. And I wish to see you to a physical TUG soon. Thank you, Sia, for organizing it.
Thank you so much, Annabelle. And just for the record, I would never kill you. I want to make that clear. And you were right on time. So thank you.
Oh.
Thank you so much. And there was, while you were trying to analyze why the Pareto visualization did not work and you were trying to fix it and ultimately fixed it, somebody, Ali, said in the chat, now we see how a Tableau expert really works. Trial and error.
Oh,
I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It means a lot to me to be here today. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and don't you want to give us another shout out to the Data Plus Women initiative in Zurich?
Yes, with pleasure. We have like this nice Data Plus Women in Zurich. We have done several events already with Olivia. We had amazing speaker in the past, and we still have a very, very good speaker next time. We will have Alison from Snowflake, Bianca from Migros, and Ninke from Willis Towers. And we will have after a networking part. So we will be able to really interact between each other through like the Remo application. So I hope that a lot of people will come and join. I will put the link on the forum. And as I said, we are set man are allowed to come and join.
Great. And you are also a very active publisher on Tableau Public.
Yes, Tableau is my is my passion. Yeah, I love Tableau.
Don't you want to show that as well?
I'm not sure that people are interested. Look, that's the toggle help screen that I was mentioning. By my grid is very, very good. I mean, I can show you my Tableau Public, but I like to do fun stuff in Tableau, so it's not so serious as the one that I was presenting before. That is my profile. You see, I like to do animal causes a lot of time. So I have done this one like recently. Yeah, about Volta for charity that traveled 3,000 kilometers in 25 days. Now, I really love Tableau. I really love what it can do. And I have to say that thanks to Tableau, I fell in love in Tableau 5 years ago. And thanks to Tableau, I was able to find a job in Switzerland. So I cannot be as grateful, more grateful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Annabelle. That was a great presentation. And actually, you presented so well or so fast that nobody had the chance to type in a question. But to the audience, we will share Annabelle's recording and her workbook that she created with you. So just look out for the follow-up for the follow-up email that we will send out probably tomorrow or beginning next week. And with that being said, we will segue into the next presentation, which I'm really looking forward to. Not that I've been not looking forward to the previous and the next presentations,